to Inside the Soundwave Internet TV Show, live from the beaches of Indiana, Florida, where all of your local musicians get to tell you their music story from the beginning to the present. Now, here is your host, Mr. Soundwave.
You tell me, yeah.
And we are here today on Inside the Soundwave, Indiana, Florida, on the beach. Another Thursday before Turkey Day. And today, my two great guests are Robin Krasny.
Wrong.
Krasny.
There you go.
Krasny. And I've been saying that for 2 weeks.
That was the first time you said it wrong.
And I spelled it wrong once.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie did.
Yeah, blame it on me.
Eddie Fischer.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, say hi to Eddie. Say hi to Robin. It's an honor to have you both here.
Thank you, Eddie, for being here.
Thank you, Eddie.
Who? Oh.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you both here. Two good musicians, Brevard County. Been playing music quite a while. Quite a bit of history. There's a band involved. There presently was a band involved.
Presently is.
Is a band involved, and plus they are a band.
Correct. Well, we're a duo. That I guess duo. A couple of people, and sometimes we have.
Then you have trios.
Yeah, but we're now like having
a little of each.
Bass and drums with us, so we're now a band.
A 4-piece band.
Correct.
Called
The Secrets.
The Robin and Eddie and the Secrets. But that's a long story. You may want to get into that later.
All right.
Okay.
But we have Robin and Eddie, and we have Robin and Eddie and the Secrets. Okay. So
during the end, sometime we're going to play a video of the band. You can see the rest of it.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of videos, and
the
Robin and Eddie are also going to play live on the middle break of the show. They're going to play 2 songs in the recording studio right next door.
Which is lovely, by the way.
Thank you.
You have a lovely facility.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
It is. I was amazed. I was shocked when we came in here.
Well, a lot of people walk in here and they'll say, "How did? Where's all this room? How did you do?" Well, anyway, we'll get into that after.
Let's visit.
This is about Robin and Eddie today. We're going to talk about how they got started, how long they've been in Brevard, what instrument they played. Now, we'll start with Robin first. Robin, give the people an idea.
Hi, people.
When you came up, are you originally from Florida?
Yes.
Okay. What area?
Right here.
Melbourne,
Florida. I'm a native. Melbourne, Floridian.
Amen.
It's weird. It's true, and I'm still here, but I come and go. I leave, I come back, I leave, I come back. I won't tell people that it's a really wonderful place to live because I don't want a lot of people coming here, but it's really a beautiful place to be from.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the lights. Go back
and Okay. Don't look at the smiley face.
No, I like the smiley.
Okay, so you have left, but you were born here and raised here, and you left and came back, Mm-hmm. Same here.
Yeah, you too.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all kind of like roam around a little bit. Part of life.
It is part of life, but everybody that is familiar with Melbourne used to call it Melboring, and there's a reason for that.
I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, but we've gone away and realized in this whole world that I've traveled in that Melbourne's a pretty sweet place to be from.
It is.
Yeah, it's the Space Coast. Seen all the rockets go off since I was a kid. So.
Paradise.
Well.
Pretty close.
I won't go that far, but it's pretty
home.
Nice. It's home. It's home.
It's home.
It's paradise to those who don't live around here.
Yeah. Very beautiful. Eddie, where were we born?
Cleveland.
He was hatched.
I was born in Cleveland. That's Ohio. And
I can't. That's no.
Yeah.
Let me shake your hand again.
Oh my God! Why?
Because I'm an Indians fan my whole life.
Oh.
I'm a Browns fan my whole life.
Indian?
Well, I was in Little League. I was in the Little Indians.
Oh, okay, that's right. He was in Little League.
But Cleveland, I left there. I was about 16. I was 16, but I grew up in the restaurant. But I remember the Cleveland Browns used to come to one of my father's restaurants, and I had a ball with Bob Feller, and I had all that stuff that I very cleverly threw out.
That would be worth a
my goodness!
So now we play music instead.
But anyway, I was from Cleveland, and
love Cleveland. I really do.
Actually, I moved to Melbourne in about 1984, but I had moved to Fort Lauderdale in 1968 before that, and then in between, I lived in California. So
A
now
lot
I
of
live
stuff
here.
happened in between.
This is very
So
pleasant
Cleveland, the Florida, the California, the Florida.
And back and forth a
back
couple
and forth
times.
around. But you haven't been back to Cleveland.
A couple years ago, my mother expired, and I took her back to be up in her zone. And that was Cleveland. When I went back after I came to Florida in '68, I went back. It always never went well. So
Were there police
but
involved?
there were police and stuff. But I always I'd go up there tonight for the weekend if someone wanted to drive up, or better yet, we could fly up, have dinner, and come back. But that's Cleveland.
Yeah. So you've been in Florida a majority of your life? Or?
Half the time now.
Half the time.
I've been here since 83,
84.
84,
You
pretty
came
much straight on.
That's when I
The
came
whole
down
time.
permanently,
Yeah.
around 85.
But when you
Yeah.
came down in 60-something, that's when...
Well, in the 60s, I lived in Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
And then I remember one day driving up here. I think I was on my motorcycle. It was before the Sebastian Bridge was in, and drove around. And I just sort of said, that's kind of a neat area because there was nothing up here. And then when I was ready to leave California, I was thinking, where am I going to go where it's nice? And I came here, and I almost went up to Cocoa Beach. I driving around. I had my daughter with me, and I drove into Melbourne Beach. And I said, this looks good. And
You planned
so
it.
I moved here.
That was it.
But Cleveland, where it started playing, it started with a little crystal set I had around 1956. And
First
I moved-
instrument.
Well, that's what I listened to. It was a radio, crystal radio with a little wire and a crystal
He invented radio.
with a little earphone. And I'd lay in bed and listen to WHK, which was the big rock station up there then. Rock and roll, it wasn't rock. And I heard music, and that's where I started hearing music. And, I liked everything I heard, and I listened to it. And then I started playing guitar, after accordion, after trombone. Trombone, walking in the band thing was not me,
Yeah. But
He's so
you did say
left-handed,
accordion,
one-eyed
though.
Oh, everyone in Cleveland had accordion because there were polkas.
Because Ron Caddy I had on the show, and he played accordion, too.
Oh, yeah, Frankie Yankovic, and She's Too Fat for Me, polka and stuff. It was...
Accordions were big.
And then, I played
They're heavy.
guitar
Have
in
you
a
ever tried
polka
them?
band. So
No, I never tried to play them, but they're heavy.
They weigh a
Oh,
lot.
no,
They're heavy.
the black piano keys are cool. But my eyes are a little strange. I looked down the sea of little black buttons. And I said, what am I supposed to do? Play this one, not that one? So that was it.
They
Accordion.
confused him. 6 strings.
But I like the way they look. They look good. But for some reason, the writing on the wall told me I'd be better off playing guitar. And so then I started playing guitar, taking little lessons and all that for a couple years. And I went to Cleveland Institute of Music, learned some theory. I got a little thing to go there after the art school. But I was only 10 or 11. But I met people that most 10, 11 people you just don't meet. And then I started playing guitar. Then I had to go to special school, military school.
You're special ed.
And that's where I heard music coming from one of the rooms. And it was a guitar and someone playing Walk, Don't Run and Pipeline and stuff.
Oh, the Ventures.
Holy,
The Ventures.
Because up to that point I was playing, show tunes. But, so that's when I started playing. I learned the bar chord. And if you're a guitar player, once you learn the bar chord, that's it. You play rock and roll.
So weren't you playing and your teachers were coming to your gigs when you were like 14?
Oh, as we played, I was playing 3-4 nights a week. And
As
we
a
played
young
through
boy.
Cleveland. And Cleveland had all kind of great places. Leo's Casino. And I also had the hippie. It wasn't hippie then. It was Beatnik by the art museum and stuff. La Cave was a great place. And because I had gone to art school, too, because I can do art, I met some more people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I start, being concerned about things because of what I was hearing.
Uh-huh.
And but we had a band called the Rogues. I still talk to a couple of the guys. One of the guys has passed on, but we played. We made a record. There was a Schneider recording studio, which is where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is now.
Right.
we walked up these little stairs, and we had our 2 songs, and the guy had like an old 2-track, a little refrigerator. I look over, and he was taking a swig, and we went in a little room and played our 2 songs live, and he mixed it up and gave us an acetate, and we gave him $50, and that was it.
Awesome.
So awesome. That was my first band experience.
What was the name of the band again? The Rogues?
The Rogues. We were also James Clayton Fisher and the Misfits for a while.
What were you?
James Clayton Fisher and the Misfits. I had a couple friends that wanted to be in a band, but they couldn't play. So we'd have the core, and these other guys would hold the instruments and just to be in the band.
Just to be in the band.
That's so nice of you.
That's
pretty
that cool.
Experience, Edward.
So that all happened in Ohio. That was Cleveland.
Wow.
And, a lot of people, Joe Walsh was around that area, and the Outsiders had their nice hit, and Time Won't Let Me was great. And
great song.
I remember the Blues Magoos, seeing them.
Oh, man, I remember them too.
14, 15, 64,
Blues
right?
Magoos.
I was 1 year old.
Yeah, because I'd be getting in these bars because you could drink when you were 16, but you could only drink 3.2 alcohol. Sunday beer.
That's different.
Yeah,
Did you take a beer break?
You could drink 4 cases of it, But there were great little clubs in Cleveland, and all the twist stuff was happening and stuff. So that's kind of where I got my trip going.
It's great. Good story. I like that.
It's from the book. I'm trying to keep it.
That's what I like to hear.
I heard stuff today I've never heard in like 20 years, so it's all good.
Now, Robin, what about Melbourne? I almost said boring. What about Melbourne?
I gotta take a break. I'm tired.
I think I need to think about that.
No, what instrument did you pick up first?
Piano. I
You
didn't pick
picked
it
it
up.
up?
I was strong.
You didn't pick
I know,
it up.
it's like,
I mean, were you in elementary school?
no, I was
That's
like
some upper
a wee
body
little
strength
lassie.
there.
A little one.
Yeah, I was a little girl, and my mommy played piano, and my dad played guitar. So
Right.
music was something I grew up with, and I would sit on the piano even when I was 1 and 2 and just play keys that sounded good together and improvise all these beautiful concertos. God knows what they sounded like. I wish I would have had a recording.
Yes.
They were the Robin 2-year-old concertos, and my parents said, you think we should get her some lessons? So I started taking lessons when I was really very young and have gone on from there.
What school did you go? Did you play in the elementary school band or orchestra or anything, or junior?
We didn't have anything like that in Melbourne.
Okay.
Come on, we were in Melbourne.
We had or anything?
Not in elementary school. We didn't have that. I had
Flutophone band or something? Everybody played something.
Nope.
When you were a little.
Here's the deal. My mom is an original member of the Melbourne Municipal Band.
There we go.
She was a charter member of the Melbourne Municipal Band, and that band pretty much started when I was born, right around that time. And I've been going to their rehearsals and concerts and shows and everything since I was a wee little egg. So I've been doing that, listening to concert music my whole life. And we'd go there and do our homework. My mom would say, okay, it's time for band. Who wants to go? And I'd go, I'll go. So I'd grab my homework or my pillow, my blanket, and I'd go to their rehearsals that lasted from 7 to 10 or something. And I'd lay down and listen to John Philip Sousa and Wagner and just different kinds of music that I grew up hearing. I don't even know what necessarily the music was. I know it in my head, but I can't tell you who wrote it. But anyway. So I grew
I
up
need to take a break.
But the band comes into effect
at a later date. Yes, a later date.
Little date. But you were playing the piano. Basically the piano, or did you pick up any other instruments?
What's the matter with you? I got to give him a nudge every once in a while. He keeps saying that we should take a break, and I'm going, really?
When I see the sign break, I always
do
make
it?
my engineer sweat it out a little bit.
He doesn't know how to stick to a schedule. He just keeps going and going and going.
We take a break, but I kind of ignore
mouth.
the signal and the sign
Well,
and the
right.
flashing.
Now that I know that, I will not.
Will you let me tell my story
Yeah.
then? Shut up. Okay.
Carry on.
All right, here we go. All right. So, continuing with the Krasny story. So, Piano. Melbourne Municipal Band. Growing up, 7th grade, you're able to play an instrument at Hoover Junior High, where I went.
Okay.
So, Hoover Junior High, we have a band. And my mom, I wanted to play flute. And, of course, they said, we have too many flute players. And I said, but I want to play flute. And they said, too bad. Pick up something else. So my mom said, well, I play clarinet. I got an extra clarinet. You want to play clarinet? So I played clarinet and did pretty well in the clarinet. That's my main concert instrument, and I still play with the Melbourne Municipal Band.
So you play clarinet?
With my mother in the Melbourne Municipal Band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I mean, I heard the word clarinet about 8 times in that sentence.
No,
so.
I do still play them.
It's on our CD.
I actually play bass clarinet.
Is
alto
that your
clarinet.
main instrument?
Yeah, actually.
The clarinet.
Well, on the piano. But I
Okay.
play flute, saxophone, penny whistle.
We had an oboe, but her head was going to blow.
I was going to blow up. I was playing for the Montessori school kids one time. I was playing for Peter and the Wolf. They had me come in and bring my flute, my clarinet, my oboe, just so that they could hear what the instrument sounded like. And I'm playing the oboe, and I've got a good tone on it, but some kid in the back goes, "Look, she's turning purple." And I just realized that, the back pressure you need to play the oboe is extreme, and you could stroke out in a very easy way. So I stopped playing the oboe. We sold it. And
Are there any in the band?
oboes?
Yeah.
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 That's all.
Sure. Can't have a band without an oboe. Anyway, my nephew is now playing oboe, and I teach children during the summertime with the Melbourne Municipal Band. We have a music program
Right.
for kids called the
Excellent.
music program for kids, and kids can learn an instrument for free.
It's PAL or something, isn't it?
The Kids of Brevard. PAL
Yeah.
used to sponsor it. Now the kids,
Oh.
Kids for Brevard or Kids of Brevard.
And a lot of children have come through that.
Oh, yeah, hundreds of kids have come through that, and we have repeat kids, which is
That's
really
amazing.
cool. Kids from the 6th to the 9th grade who want to learn how to play a band instrument. We give them instruction books and lessons, private lessons and classroom lessons, and then we perform a concert at the end of the 4 weeks. And
It's cool.
It's
I
really
think band
awesome.
That's
music
incredible.
is great for kids.
It's
It gives me so much joy and pleasure. And I also get to teach them breathing and yoga because I'm a yoga instructor for 28 years. So I've been teaching yoga before it was cool and been a massage therapist before it was, it was still considered a little sketchy. And, so I do breathing, teaching yoga, fitness, well-being, and I have the kids come in. I get to teach them breathing on the floor. I get to do them exercises with them, teach them how to have good posture, which is all important when you play an instrument, as you well know.
excellent.
Well, back in the day, if you were playing an instrument, it was like, you're going out with a musician?
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
you put it in perspective. Music, you slept in the barn with the horses
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
Hollywood came up and stardom came up. To that point, a musician you were a gypsy.
Well, we're kind
Yeah.
of relegated to that right now, aren't we?
Yeah,
to that.
one of the first places I played was a place called the Roxy in Cleveland. It was a burlesque, but it was almost the end of vaudeville. That's all that was left. Mm-hmm. Turned into a strip joint, but it's different than the ones today. Much less lights, and so what I'm saying is, people, I want to be a star, I want to be an actress, I want to be a musician.
Interesting note.
What?
Interesting note. The Beatles started playing in cabaret houses.
Yeah, well, that's what was
So
around.
I saw that on History Channel the other day. That's where they first
Yeah.
started playing.
Well,
I thought
most
that was
bars
very
were
interesting.
cabaret houses. I mean,
Right.
there wasn't a family bar.
I don't
You
know.
know?
Didn't your family have a family bar?
Well, yes.
That's
but
how you
that
learned
was
to
just,
sing in the room when you were sweeping the floor?
Yeah. I invented karaoke.
Please,
I used to
sir.
sit
May I have some more?
in front of the Wurlitzer that had 4 different types of music: rock, country rock, waltz. I mean, country western rock. I mean, there was 50 records in there, and you heard those were the only records you heard for 5 years. That was it.
That was
So
it.
I'd get a broom and I'd listen to Everly Brothers or whatever.
That sounds
and
familiar.
Play my broom, and people, Eddie. And then I used to have to sing for them, but I was very nervous, so I'd go behind the thing by the beer cases and sing "Sink to Bismarck" or something that I liked, or "The War of 1812," "Battle of New Orleans." But "Sink to Bismarck"
Cool.
was
Battle
one
of
of my
New
favorite
Orleans.
songs.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
And then "Black Denim Trousers and Motorcycle Boots."
We still sing that every once in a
And
while.
I can still play that.
We're going to take a short
On the-
break so we could show a video called, what's it called?
I don't know. Is this I Care?
I Care.
I Care. Okay,
Right
so
down
let
the
me
street
premise
or up
this
the
a little
street?
bit. We were playing at a place that I teach yoga and do some things, and they have concerts. It's called Aquarian Dreams, right down the way. And it's a very live room, so we had a single camera shoot it, so it's not exactly like multiple cameras or
Right.
anything. But I edited it and put it up there so people
But
can
it's a
see it.
perfect song.
But this song is also now our new band song we're recording in the studio. And so we're adding drums and bass, and the Secrets are going to be playing on it. So when we play out, we play this. But this is the early versions of this song, too. It's not even quite where it is now. So we hope
Good.
you enjoy it.
Enjoy
I
the
care.
video. You'll be watching it for the next 3, 4, 5 minutes.
3.5, something like that.
We'll be back. We'll show you some of our advertisers. You know, Jimmy Vickers up in Merritt Island. We've got open mics inside Florida Discount Music, and we've got Alternative
Cool
Connection
idea.
over on Babcock, and we have ISW Recording Studio. So watch the ads, watch
Robin
the
and
video, and we'll be back with more about Robin and Eddie. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Yeah. Okay, we are back on the air, Eddie. We are
You can
back.
wake up now, Edward. He likes to take a nap whenever possible.
He's going to get to stretch his legs right after this.
But look at this head of hair. Isn't it beautiful? There's not a gray hair in that
Let's
whole
talk about California. They said
California.
You live in California. Let's get going with California. And what did you do in California?
Well, quick shot. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I had a girlfriend. She had to go back to California. I met her there. I was going to school. Got to keep this quick. Anyway, I was working on sailboats, and people were building boats. In a long and about way, I ran into a bunch of people, and
like Denny Doherty, the Mamas and Papas.
And Denny Doherty and I became friends around 1968. And my people where I were living bought David Crosby's boat, the Mayan, for him so he could be a sailor. And he was around there. And Denny and I was just, back in the days, there was a lot of drinking. There was a lot of everything going on.
Oh, yeah.
And we were writing some songs, and he went back to California. I didn't care. I remembered that, California Dreaming and stuff when I was a kid, but I didn't pay attention to it. Even though it was only a year or two difference, it was already old stuff, and there wasn't anything carrying on. But I also stopped playing electric guitar when I left Cleveland, because amplifier and all that stuff. And I didn't know what I was going to do, and he had this old Martin I started playing. I said, well, I get acoustic guitar. So I got acoustic guitar, and then that's what I've played ever since. Anyway, so he came back another time. I happened to be there. I came back from the Virgin Islands. We were playing. He said, well, you ought to come out to California, I said, well, maybe I will, So I had an old Corvair van. I drove to California.
Corvair.
And then he had no money. He was broke. He was living with his girlfriend.
He got ripped off, though. By
everybody got ripped off because they let themselves get ripped off.
Right. They were a little busy.
So they came to get me. I made it to California. It was a long trip. I left with $30 in my Corvair van, and I went to Schwab's drugstore. I found that place, and then he and his girlfriend, Linda, who we wrote a lot of songs with, and I had, came and got me. They had borrowed a car because he didn't have a car, but she had picked him up because she had this little place in downtown Silver Lake, 23 and a quarter. It was about as big as this room, and we all lived there. We had one omelet a day. We had no money. We had friends. We had plenty of stuff to fill the room up with smoke, and we started playing songs because Denny and I had started a couple songs. But it was brutal. It was fun, but when you're 18, 19. So ABC Dunhill came out and said, Denny, this contract, blah, blah, you have a record to make. I said, fine. And so we had the songs. And Bill Zimzik came over one day, looked around this place, said, who lives in here? Because, we'd get crazy and build model airplanes and catch them on fire and stick them in the walls. And we only went out at night. It was dark. And all the lights had scarves on top of them.
That's a Denny thing.
And so anyway, we had this record, and we made this record called "What You Gonna Do," and
which is excellent, by the way. What You Gonna Do? Big hit in Japan.
Yeah, it hit the charts here a little bit, but nobody cared because we didn't care.
Good song.
What You Gonna Do with the Waters?
No one thought about anything other than what they were doing at the moment. So anyway, I met. Buddy Emmons played steel guitar, and then there was the Kunkel was playing drums.
Russ Kunkel
and Brian Garofalo. It was a neat album. We had fun.
It
was over, and the record company was just looking like, who are these? They're all crazy. And Bill Zimzik produced it, and then he went out and started the Eagles, and then we sort of, it was weird back then. Nobody wanted to do it. I went this little room with Jay Lasker at ABC Dunhill. Signed this. Okay, fine. It was like this thick. I don't know what it was. But...
Wait, you were 18, weren't you?
I was 18, 19. My mother signed me up, said I could be an ASCAP. And I wrote some songs and did things. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't remember what I was doing. And that's how that What You're Gonna Do album came about. And then through the years, I've always been friends with Denny. And he came here and sang on one of the songs. And... we went up to Canada and played with him and played around and had fun.
You went to California with him.
Yeah.
Canada.
And so anyway, that was the What You Gonna Do album, which time I was kind of a studio guy, but I really wasn't a musician where I'd look at music and be able to play it. Mm-hmm. I could look at it and I could play it, but I wasn't a musician. I was a songwriter. And that's what I my main trip was. So anyway, that's how the California thing got into it, and but it wasn't like today where someone says you get a record contract. First thing you want to do is start working out and taking singing lessons. I mean, it wasn't like the Ted Mack Amateur Hour. Remember that?
Yes.
Now it's called The Voice and all this stuff and all these shows.
American Idol.
I can't watch it. I turn it on. It's like, I can hardly watch TV anymore anyway.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, I had 7 TVs piled up so we could get all the channels, so you could watch them all. But now I need 300 TVs, and I just can't do it, and there's nothing I want to watch.
Yeah.
So, jeez. So that's why Melbourne is really good.
You went to California really on a wing and a prayer.
Oh, yeah.
You said
$30. Everywhere I've ever went has been on a wing and a prayer.
$30 you had, and you had it all the way west.
Right. But then a friend of mine, we came back, went to the Celebration of Love, and I got to Florida, and all this, my mail was there, and I opened it up, and there was like $3,000. And we had just gone off the gold standard in 1971.
Wow.
So, holy shit. So I bought a VW van, an old VW van, and used that to get back to California with.
No Corvair van type.
No, I was done with Corvairs, man. Jeez, what a thing that was.
And this is all going on. Now you're
Oh, but we haven't met. This is 1960.
I'm just like 1 year old, 2, 3, 4,
and
5,
you
something like
pretty
that.
much stayed here the
Yeah,
whole time.
I was going to like
till
elementary school.
like what, maybe
Preschool.
20?
No, I went away to the University of Florida.
Florida. Well, that wasn't that far away.
Well, 3 hours if you put that
Oh,
to the
come
metal.
on. I mean, he's
Flare.
there.
And I'd come home every once in a while when I needed my laundry done. Sorry, Mom. And but they, my parents,
Very
they loved
college-y of
me.
you.
I graduated in psychology and did all my stuff. Became a yoga instructor. Became a psychology major. Did a lot of counseling. Worked in some very interesting counseling situations. I played in the band.
Right. You were still playing an instrument.
I played in the concert symphonic band at the University of Florida, and they weren't as good, unfortunately, as my high school band was, which was a superior band. So it was kind of boring for me. So basically, I met some hippies and began to play in a band up there. My friend Pate.
Hippies?
He still plays music.
No.
Pate. He's
You
70.
said hippies, though.
He's so
We had
beautiful.
hippies?
Yeah.
I remember
yeah.
the hippies in the 60s,
Oh, but
though.
you didn't go to the University of Florida, did you?
They're coming back.
Okay. You've never been to Gainesville.
Oh, I've been to Gainesville.
Well, we had the Hare Krishnas
Lot of horses.
feeding us free lunches on the plaza. And Pate and I he used to get out his guitar. He's a great songwriter, Pate. You should have him on here sometime. He's amazing. And we'd play flute and, guitar and sing our songs out on the plaza. And we got some gigs around town, so I kept playing. I've always played.
Mm-hmm.
And
as you're going to school, through high school,
through
to college.
And then I decided as a psychology major you couldn't really work on people unless you worked on their bodies, because that's where people store their stuff.
Yeah.
So then I became a massage therapist to help people work through the mind, body, spirit stuff. And a yoga teacher when I was at the University of Florida. I taught yoga for the University of Florida. So when I graduated, I was going to teach at the massage school and everything, and then I got in a car accident. Somebody rear-ended me and put me out of commission for about 1.5 years. I was on my back.
Right, where did that happen?
I know.
Here?
Where?
Or
No,
was
in
it
Gainesville.
In Gainesville.
In Gainesville. So, and, then I came back home, because Melbourne is home. It's a safe place. So I came back home, and then what did I do? God knows.
Well,
I started acting. I started doing film and
wow.
television acting. Yeah, so I went to Orlando. I started doing film and television and took classes with the guy you might know as Roscoe P. Coltrane from the Dukes of Hazzard. His name's James Best. He's an amazing
here a couple
actor.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's come and visited us here quite a bit and been at our film festival. And I was in a few films with him and a couple, a lot of his classes. I took all his
Yeah, the
master
Melbourne
classes.
Film Festival is a cool
Yeah,
thing.
well, we're not there yet.
I know.
Okay. So, anyway, I did film and television acting, and then, what did I do then? I was still recovering from my car accident. And
Yeah, when I met you, you pretty much were fixed.
I was fixed.
I was like 96, wasn't it?
Yep, I'm fixed, all right. So then, I've been doing therapy, but body work and massage therapy over the years, and film and television and voiceovers, and I'm a makeup artist, so I've done makeup artistry for film, television, commercials, things like that. And
You did voiceovers, you said?
oh yeah, I still do voiceovers, and I like doing voiceovers. And I write poetry. I've been a poet, so I've been doing a lot of poetry over the years and working on a calendar right now. And
I got a sneak preview. Looks beautiful.
Well, I thank you. I've got just came up with my cover photo and the photography for it and the poetry I'm either in or did myself. And so I've been working on poetry and songs. I finally bought a baby grand piano on my birthday. And I got it in my house. I visualized it. I created it. I manifested it. And boom, it was the day before my birthday. It was there. Because I had gone and saw an ad on the club where I used to work out. Their bulletin board, it said piano. And I thought I'd talk the lady down a little bit. I showed up and she's like, oh, you really need to meet Eddy Fischer. And I was like, ugh. Because 6 months before that, I was having dinner by myself, and some guy said, hey, you really need to meet Eddy Fischer. And I was like, ugh. I was like, I don't want to meet any men right now. I just want to play my own music, do my own thing. And he's like, oh, you know, Eddy Fischer. So I couldn't get out of giving her my number to give to Eddy Fischer. So I gave them my number, and a month later, I get a phone call. Hi, this is Eddy Fischer.
Well, the first time I called, I got her answering machine and just went, ah.
Why? What was it? What was the answering machine?
The sky is blue, and I've been thinking about butterflies. And I said,
well, I do think about butterflies. I do, and the sky being blue. Anyway,
I called the second time.
And I'm like, no, I don't really want to play music. I'm busy today. He's like, well, what are you doing? And I just happened to be sunbathing in my backyard naked. So I said, I'm sunbathing naked in my backyard. And he goes, like, I'll be right over.
Well, it turns out we're one street away down in Melbourne Beach.
We live 2 blocks away from each other.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And so he popped over with his guitar, and I saw him walk in, and I wanted to put up the cross in the garlic and say, no! But we were performing 3 days later. At a little club coffee house called
I'm glad it
Java
was
the Hutt.
I'm glad it was it wasn't a news colony. I mean, the way you started off.
We did that. We played there.
We played at a nudist colony. Was that?
Well, I have
too.
Actually, in New York, I have.
You played in a nudist colony?
Yes, in New York.
Was it great?
With the hair, you saw some of those pictures.
Cool.
That's all you had.
That was your fro, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
a pair of black socks.
Then I had 30 group. What do you call them? Roadies. I want to go and help you with your equipment. And then
I played hacky sack with 6 naked guys at a nudist colony. But that was
not what you think it is. I mean, it's really...
No, it was real hacky sack.
Got to be careful what you're kicking there.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
So anyway, that's how I met Edward. And then you were off to see Denny from the Mamas and Papas, just like next from that, and went up to Canada.
I was up there working on a couple songs with him, and I said, I'm going to be back. I'm going to bring Robin up here. And then we went up to Toronto when I came back.
Well, he called me from Canada, and he and Den were on the phone. And he's like, what are these herbs you gave me? Because I do Sunrider herbs. Yeah, and they really help nourish, balance, and cleanse your body. So I thought, Eddie was a little chunky. He was like drinking a lot. Get him on some herbs. And he calls me and says, hey, what is in this stuff? I can remember the words to my songs from like 20 years ago. I said, fabulous. So the next thing you know, we start playing together.
I was ready to tell her anything
What
because
year
I
was
liked
that?
her, and I thought it'd be a good thing.
Now he doesn't like me anymore.
What year was
This
that?
was 1995. This is 1995 is when
95, you're right. It was
because
early
that's
95.
when I was sunbathing naked, and I didn't want to stop.
You can't do that anymore, I know.
No, I know. It's illegal. So, anyway.
I didn't know
No,
that.
it's not illegal.
I didn't think so.
It's all
I
in your
wasn't
mind.
sure, but I just questioned that. Well, 1995, 96, you two got together, musically.
Yeah, we wrote a lot of songs, and we made a light show, which was a theater show that Robin had the idea for, and we rented the Henniger Center and did it 3 times.
We did it as a benefit for the children, the Haven for Children, which is the Haven for Children is a place for abused, abandoned, and neglected children from 0 to 6 years old. My mom was really into it. So we did it as a benefit for them and raised some money for them.
But we did it as a show, too. I mean, it was a real
show.
show.
We also raised money for the Henniger Center on that one, too.
We
did
had dancers and music.
A theatrical show that included aromatherapy, light therapy, and sound therapy on the audience.
And a story.
And a story of a woman, moi, going through the dark night of her soul. And to an awakening of her connection to all of life through vignettes
at the
of
Henniger
the chakra system. Yeah.
Henniger Center.
The Henniger Center for the.
Do you still do anything like that?
Well,
if you got an extra couple million, I'm sure we could pull it off. We spent that's the thing. People think, oh, I'm an artist. I wrote a song. Yeah. It's very expensive. It's
It
like
was a
this,
great show.
you know?
When it's
Should
done,
we
it
bill
was
you
done.
for this or just do studio time? How do you want to do it? Money?
Anyway, we were going to do the show every year. Bill. And what happened was, in 1999, my true love got hit by a truck and killed, sadly.
We think it's your true love.
Yeah, it was at the time. Anyway, so... and then we
99?
married. Yeah, 1999. And so after that, the idea of doing the light show or doing anything, frankly, for me, was not interesting.
Yeah, we took a break for a while.
No, we
played.
actually played. You know what? I lost my memory after that happened. There were so many things that happened physiologically, mentally, emotionally, and I counsel people through grief, death, and dying. So this was really a shock to my system. And Eddie, we're like conjoined twins I can't get rid of. But we played 7 days after Jean-Pierre was killed. We were playing, and I realized that the only thing I could do was open my mouth and sing. And the only thing that I remembered were the words to the songs that I had been singing with Eddie for 4 years. So music was at once therapy and also very challenging, and being in the public, feeling like I am just this mess of grief. Can't everybody see that? Can't everybody see how barely here I am? And
I know the feeling.
Yeah, well.
But we all made it through.
Yeah, barely. So anyway, we're here. Eddie made it through fine because I married him off to a wonderful lady.
Well, we met during the light show. And it all came about very wonderfully.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was the best man at his wedding, by the way.
We're going to talk quickly about that when we come back, because they're going to play a tune before my engineer kills me.
Oh, okay.
They're going to play a tune. One or two? Well,
Feeling about you. We're going to play a song.
Okay.
And then we can do the rest of the story some other time, because there's so much more.
It's a long story. We've been together almost 20 years. For God's sake, it's a long story.
Yeah, we're trying to get everything we can, how you got to today, here, today. Not just in the studio, but where you are today musically in Brevard County. So we'll try to get up to that before we come back after they play live. So watch the show. They're going there right now next door and getting set up.
Clear the crowd. We're
Don't
coming
go
up.
away. We'll be right back.
Get your drink. Come on back.
hold you. And I don't need to love you to be close and warm. Oh, I will never be torn from thinking about you. From thinking about you. Now you know all about me. You watched me change as I was watching you. The switch was thrown, and there's nothing anyone can ever do. It's up to me and you. There's love, there's nothing you can do except dreaming about me. Dreaming about me. Dreaming about me. Smile, you found someone who loves you. Be glad it's someone nice like me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. And laugh, you won the game with no winners. And see how it's supposed to be. I'll be close and warm. Oh, I'll never be torn from thinking about you, dreaming about you, feeling about you, all about you. I love, I love, I love, I love, I love feeling about you. All about you.
So that's our song, Feeling About You.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Want to play another song?
No, I'm fine. We'll play sometime. We'll let you know where we're at, and you can come and see us. We could play 1,000 Kisses.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Is it still on?
I don't know. We'll just keep playing
we'll play 1,000
till they kick us off.
This is a good Indie Atlantic Beach song.
Okay, good. This is a song about, well, love.
You'll get it. I've known you for quite some time now. We've talked and walked on the beach. You ask if we'd be happy, and if I knew sometimes we'd cry, and some days would be dreary, but most days really fine. And we'd have to fight a world that's full of lies most of the time. So I thought I'd take my chance. I might only get to kiss you once. And it would be 1,000 kisses deep. 1,000 kisses. It'd be 1,000 kisses deep. 1,000 kisses. You know I always keep my word to you. 1,000 kisses. We'll open the windows, blow out the smoke. succeed? Will our strength be strong enough to take care of our needs? And everything that's black and white, today they say has turned to gray. But I will always love you, and I'll always stay this way. So I think I'll take my chance. I might only get to kiss you once. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Here we go.
Beautiful. Good music. Great music. Like I said, I love the music because I can hear myself think, and I can understand the words. You know, I kind of like that because so many clubs I go into, I'm there for 5 minutes and I walk out the door and go to the next club because I go deaf.
I'm the same way. I have like very little tolerance for loud music.
Oh, I like loud music.
Eddie does. Eddie does. You know.
Hey.
Eh? What? I can't
I was originally a
I ruined my ears when I was younger.
Well, that wasn't a loud gig, was it? A bedroom guitarist?
Bedroom guitarist.
You didn't like scream at her when you were playing to her? Okay.
Well, sometimes I was by myself.
Very nice. The two songs you played were beautiful. And what were the names of those songs again?
The first one's called Feelin' About You. And we do it also beautifully with our band. Mm-hmm. And the second one was called 1,000 Kisses. 1,000 Kisses.
Beautiful.
Soon to be a Hershey's Kiss.
And who wrote the songs?
We did.
Both of you.
Both is yes, that is us.
Lyrics and
I find
music.
writing two people, a lot of people write songs by themselves. You get one or two, whatever. But with two people, you have a wider range of stuff to draw from.
Do you share the lyrics and the music itself? Or
Yeah.
do
Well,
you
here's
both
what happens.
Take turns changing.
Yeah, writing songs with Eddie is like kind of pulling teeth, pulling hair. It's a violent sport, but in the end, it comes out.
Pulling taffy.
We come out with something that we both appreciate, that we both like, and that's how we do it. I mean, it's usually a battle, but I think that it's a part of the creative process. And I've always called Eddie the sand in my oyster,
And vice versa.
the irritant that eventually becomes a pearl, and vice versa. People always ask if we were married. We're like, no.
We both decided we both probably could do better.
And we have.
And we have.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. You are partners, music partners, and I want to say you really do blend together really nicely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of people that I've honestly asked about, have you heard Robin and Eddie? And they have, and they were very, very nice compliments you both got.
We have some fans.
Well.
We have fans from
Really?
the very beginning when we first started playing. Java John Goldacker, for example, he owned Java the Hut, or he ran it, and he and his wife Jen, his late wife, dear girl, passed away. But they were two of our best fans from the very beginning because that's the first place we ever played.
Right.
And so we've
905 Cafe, we played a long
a
time.
lot of places. Yeah,
Downtown
very
Melbourne.
long
It was a great little place, and I got married there. It was
I was the
place.
best man there.
And we go to Miami. We played folk festivals and art festivals, and
We've been in Toronto. We played with Denny from the Mamas and Papas. We traveled. Eddie and I went to California together. We traveled all over
We made
LA.
some video out there that's still in the can, but it's not in the can. It's on a disc.
Well, you guys can probably do something.
Coffee
like that,
houses
right?
all through California.
Yeah.
With the first digital camera.
Yeah, one of the first
1996.
digital cameras that was ever made.
Yeah.
Jamie could make that happen.
Jamie could do it. He could do anything.
Do what? I wasn't paying attention.
He
wasn't paying attention.
He's-
No, like-
I built him a booth, and now he's in another world.
But anyway, we did the LA thing.
Cool.
We were just out there strictly to play music, and we did. And we did a 15-song video
Incredible.
with an insane producer. And we traveled back through the United States. We played in
Austin, all
Austin.
those
We
places,
played
yeah.
in San Angelo. We played at a British pub in
Will
San Angelo.
any of these videos ever come out?
Surface?
Yeah, I mean,
when
We have some
when we're
scratch
dead-
copies of it.
Yeah,
He
we-
died, the guy. He killed himself or something.
Whatever.
But you can't blame him. So anyway.
He was a sociopath. And how we hook up with these people, I'll never know. But go figure. It was a good experience. It prompted, when we got home from LA, the light show. Which was, I said to Eddie, I'm never working with somebody this insane and obnoxious and abusive ever again. And then the Henniger Center came up, and
Right.
I said, well, we're going to do my show. And he's like, what show? And I said, the light show. And then we ended up producing this whole show that was a very healing art thing. And now we've got the rock and roll.
And then we
thing
have our
out
Masters
there.
of Love CD
Yeah.
that we sold
5,000.
almost 5,000 of, and we're going to reprint it and make
Wow.
some new ones.
Yeah, make some new ones.
And
Maybe call it something
It's
different.
online in different places.
What
Amazon.
kind of music genre do you call the style of music?
I call it now age. Instead of new age.
I mean, is there
now age
is
is
there
like for right
category?
now. Well,
Acoustic music. Some people might say it's Americana.
I don't think so.
But-
I don't. When we went to folk festivals, we weren't quite as folky
Folky,
as some of the
we-
folks.
yeah.
Right.
I think it just reminds you of a time of happy harmonies, Mamas and Papas, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Some of the music that I grew up listening to, that was some of my favorite music.
Kingston Tree. Why do I remember that?
Yeah, those guys too, Kingston
Yeah.
Tree. All the
remember
people, the
them.
people with the beautiful harmonies, And I've got friends
That's
that.
what I used to listen to my radio. Scarlet Ribbon.
Oh, my daddy used to
I'd
sing
be laying,
that
I'd
to
hear
me.
the harmony in Everly Brothers, so it's kind
My
of...
dad used to
yeah.
sing me Scarlet Ribbons
Everly
and play the
Brothers,
guitar. But I have a lot of musical friends now that have offered to play on things with us, and Player, the band Player, Baby Come Back,
Right.
friends of mine.
What's Ron Caddy and Tommy Welsh? They're all in with those groups. They all know those groups too.
Know who you're talking about.
They're two very, very. They're still in the studio right
Oh,
here.
yeah?
They live here.
Oh, cool.
Tommy does
This is a very
Earth,
talented
Wind, and
area.
Fire type thing.
Uh-huh.
Did you play with it?
Yeah.
For a while, I
Casey
made
and the-
stained glass
Ron
windows.
Keddy was with, I believe,
Yeah.
Casey and the Sunshine Band for a while. You know, I mean, they all did their things with the band.
The 70s,
Yeah,
80s
well,
were,
playing
not that bad
fun.
except for disco. And, that was
And
happened
even
to
that
be
was
my
good if
music
you were
in
at
high
Club
school.
54. I mean, I had.
Yeah, that was a pretty big place, wasn't it?
Oh, it was fun. I wasn't there, but
Anyway, we've played in New York. We played in New York City, across from where Denny had his show. Denny was doing a show called Dream a Little Dream, the nearly true story of the Mamas and Papas, because if you were there and you remember...
Well, it's the
you
old
were there.
village where...
The Village Gate Theater. He had it
I
off
love the
Broadway.
Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah. And
Well, all those people came from the village and went to California, the Birds and them, and, they were all on
Crosby
folk
and the
tours
Birds
and
all
stuff.
Yeah.
And CPR is also one of my favorite bands. Good friend of mine, Jeff PR. He's in the band, plays an amazing guitar. And so we've been around. We've played with different people. And Denny from the Mamas and the
Yeah.
Papas, before he passed away, sang on our CD with us and did a bunch of radio and TV stuff with us.
You've played in front of some very large audiences.
Well, probably the biggest one was at Denny's memorial service.
I'd never see the audience,
Right.
I told you he's a left-handed, one-eyed dyslexic, so he doesn't see a whole lot beyond the guitar, but that's okay. We love him anyway.
But I mean, you have played for thousands
Yeah,
of people.
it's been
I'm
nice.
sure.
But you know what? I really love the intimate audience. I love people being right in my space that I'm playing to. I just enjoy
Yeah, the way
that
they have-
interaction
yeah,
and the
the-
Yeah, a
connection.
little circle theater.
They have a
type
round.
stuff
You know,
is-
they call it in the round.
In the round. I love the feeling.
They're all around you.
Yeah, they are.
And no matter which way you turn, you're going to be facing
Somebody.
an
Somebody
audience.
up close and personal. You know what is a great theater that I would like to do some music in is the old Phoenix Theater, which is now the Melbourne Civic Theater here in town. There's a really nice intimate theater. It would be great for doing some music and doing some intimate video. Not intimate video, but
Right.
you know what I'm talking about.
Quick question: did you ever get out to DRTV when it was?
Yeah, I used to work there.
Yeah.
Did a lot of commercials there.
Nice fellow.
Yeah, they're gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
Bill-
there when he closed up. Unfortunately,
Big
I was
place,
there.
big place, man. We wanted to do a big game show, local game show.
That's
there.
where you do it.
Beautiful.
Our good friend Bill Williams from A Cut Above Video, he used to be my roommate. He is the one that shot and produced. Eddie directed it, but the video that we were going to show at
We're
the
gonna
end
end
called
with.
Titanic Proportions,
Right.
which is a love song gone bad, but it's a fun video.
Is that a
And,
kitty out there?
And of course, you both wrote.
No, it's actually a
song
dog.
together, right?
Titanic Proportions was actually
That's a
written
song
by
I had a
us.
while back. David Bean and I had a band called Ever Ready Eddie back in California around 77, 78, 79. And so it was a band, and it's a song from back then. We
You just kind of brought
Redid it. Yeah.
brought it back.
Yeah.
What kind of band was that, Eddie?
It was a 4-piece rock and roll
Rock and
band.
roll band.
Ever Ready Eddie, yeah. It was,
So you've played a lot of rock and roll, though, and you did.
well, my style. I always played my own music. Even when I first started, everyone, you got to play songs to learn, But as soon as I was able to play, I was writing, and then, I couldn't be in a cover band and play Miami Beach.
I don't think any of us could now. It's
Well,
too electronica.
I'm not good enough because you got to learn all that stuff, and I'm not a technician.
Right.
So, and also,
Would
there's
you
no
write
money in
some
it. I made
dirty
more.
songs, Edward?
I made more money when I was 14 in Cleveland than you can make now. I'd come home with $100, and it was like, what happened? $100 was like $1,000. Now you come home with $100, and what do you got? Lunch.
Yeah,
Not
So,
for us.
it's true.
Sushi and sake.
It's changed, hasn't it, Eddie?
Well,
Well, let's not talk about money.
okay.
Well, that's
yeah.
Let's talk
Again,
about
no
money.
time. However you want to do it, I'm good.
The uplifting inspiration of music that is us. That's what we do.
So where are we today with both of you and the band? And I want to give the question out quickly
Oh,
for the Inside the Soundwave question. Y'all know we have a. I'm going to ask the question, and if you remember what the answer is, you're going to go ahead and email it to me at contestanswer@ISW InsideTheSoundwave.com. Mail
Say the address again, just so they get it clear.
Contest answer, all one word, at InsideTheSoundwave.com. The question is, what is the name of the other band that Eddie and Robin are part of and play with? Okay? We have mentioned that a couple of times in the show. So you'll have to go through and find out what that is. Just email me the answer, and we'll get you a T-shirt that says Inside the Sound Wave, and we'll get you a CD. And quickly, his name is Jimmy Culbertson. He answered last week's question right. 4 members in the Good Old Boys and 5 members in Who Was I.
Oh, cool.
So Jerry, we're going to be taking care of you. You'll be getting an email from me shortly, and we'll get you your prize. Thank you, Jerry, for watching the show. And where are you playing recently?
Well, we're really recording right now. That's what our focus is. We're just finishing up a song called Hey Little Apple. Hey Little Apple, and I'm working on my poetry book and calendar, and
maybe January we'll play it sometimes.
Well, our drummer took a break to go work somewhere. Oh, our Secrets. We should name our band. Scott Krasny, and that's my brother. He plays bass. And Brian Pridemore is our percussionist.
Yeah, and he's a mechanical engineer type, and he's up at a rocket place up in Virginia.
Yeah, Wallops Island. Right. So
because this music is nice, but like I said, don't expect to pay the rent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. You said something. What did you say? Ichabod? What did
we play Ichabod's Dockside.
Dockside.
So
and we're going to play
maybe in January we'll play there.
We've been asked to play down at Captain Hiram's and stuff like that.
Yeah, Captain Hiram's probably we will too, but it'll be January, February.
Yeah.
Unless Robin and I go play someplace. We can play anywhere.
Right. Just as two of you go out because you're a group too.
Yeah, we have.
Well, it is easier. You show up with the drums and
you don't have so many people to organize
speakers and electric amplifiers.
It's a production.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need in-ear monitors and things.
And
like
without
that.
a sound guy and a green room to rest in.
All right, let's not bitch, shall we? Okay.
So they'll be playing somewhere nearby, hopefully in January.
Yes.
Possibly before that, the two of you.
Right? Yeah, maybe. Probably.
We played today.
That was good for an afternoon,
That was excellent, too.
2 songs for an afternoon.
Very good.
Anyway, we'll be playing, and look for my poetry and calendar. And you can go to robinandeddy.com.
That's another thing. Tell them where they can go to
read about us and our players. robinandeddy.com. That's ROBIN and then ANDEDDY. So Robin with an I and Eddie with a Y. And that's .com.
I didn't bring the signer.
No, you didn't.
But I don't know how to do it.
But then you're on Facebook too.
Yes, I'm on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter.
I've about had it with Facebook myself. It's boring.
I think it's wonderful. I think Facebook is a great way to connect with people and help people, and it's nice. It's
a good way to connect.
You know what it is? It's this giant corkboard in the world's biggest laundromat.
Pretty much.
That's a good. I like that analogy. That's very good. Very good. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, they're going to keep me posted. I hope where they play, so that way I can also relay it to you, and we'll put it because we are going to be making announcements starting in the next show of people that send in their bands or the musicians where they are playing, and I'll announce them next week if you send them in to me. At W. Spatafora. That's a tough one, though.
It is.
You're Italian?
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah. Yes.
Just a little bit.
Unfortunately.
W. Spatafora at InsideTheSoundWave.com. Just go to InsideTheSoundWave.com and they'll be there's a page there that you can check it out. Will you send me where you're playing and I'll tell you. Tell everybody where you're at.
And happy birthday, Dad.
Didn't you just have a birthday, too?
But it's my daddy's birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad. We've been swimming laps together, my dad and I. It's awesome. So
it was my girlfriend's birthday a few days ago.
You did?
My girlfriend's birthday was on Monday.
Scorpio!
And my wife's was...
As if I don't get enough of that at home.
Oh, gosh.
So
room of Scorpio.
That's why being born is so much better than this other stuff. Because
what, dying?
Well... you got to have a date to say where you came from. Yeah, if you just show up, nobody knows. Every day's your birthday.
Every day is my birthday. We're in my birthday season right now. And if you want to send gifts, please do. I'm receiving. I've learned how to receive, finally.
Yeah, I've learned it's not a birthday, it's a birth week.
It's my birth season.
Or your birth season.
Yes, I like that better. So, in between Thanksgiving...
And I don't celebrate birthdays, so it doesn't really make any difference to me.
He's just in this bag for a while, and then he's going to leave it behind. And actually, he said he was going to take the bag with him.
Now, Eddie,
I'm coming back as the same person.
Before we leave,
He likes himself that much.
before we leave to watch the last video, Eddie, you are in the area, of course, right? You do live in Brevard.
Oh, yeah.
You're right close by here.
Yeah, yes. I
I'd
live
be
in Melbourne.
down, yeah.
Right, and so that's good. So
Yeah.
they're right here in Brevard with us, and
Go to
you're gonna
websites. Yeah.
Except
you'll
when
be
I'm not.
check out their websites.
If he wants to come and play for you, do a little house concert or anything, we're
Oh yeah, I
available.
love doing house concerts too. That's a
How do they
blast.
get a hold of you to
RobinandEddie.com.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Yeah.
Isn't
Or
it
Facebook.
great not to say www? Everyone now knows. You know, such a relief.
That's
to
a
me.
long letter.
Check out the website, and if you've got an occasion coming up or an event, let them know. Let Robin and Eddie know. At their
We play
.com.
original music. Don't expect Jimmy Buffet or anything like that.
Or you won't have to pay ASCAP fees either because
Right,
we
'cause
pay
we own it,
ourselves.
we pay it, yeah.
All original music.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all original.
God, I love that.
I know. It's very cool that
That's
we play
excellent.
our own music.
We'll
we
make
just-
something up for you even if you want it.
Yeah, we used to pass a piece of paper around the
Oh,
coffee
that
house
is
and
cool.
stuff.
I like that.
And then Eddie would come up with a song, and we'd do harmonies, and that's the way some of our songs have actually started.
That's really
that have
neat.
turned out to be really good songs.
Improv.
Yeah, yeah.
Music improv.
Somebody asked
That's
us
cool.
one time, they go, who writes your stuff?
That's
And I'm like,
that's called talent.
it's called In the Moment.
Talent.
Covering your...
Bless you.
Thank you. No,
All right.
Eddie is like the king of say anything at any time, and I've had to learn, even though I've taken many improv classes, improv with Eddie. I think everyone should take that class.
Yep.
Improv with Eddie. You
There
learn
you
a
go.
lot. Yeah. Yes.
Look for that on the .com. Eddie will have one of them.
We'll
up
be
next
there.
year.
Improv with
We're waiting for you.
We're going to watch the last video before we're going to leave now. We're going to watch their last video.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank
It's a
you.
great
By the way,
thing.
this has been a blast. I really
It's
appreciate
really
it.
neat.
And thank you, Jamie. Thanks, guys, for doing the
Watch this video. The name of the song is...
Titanic Proportions.
Watch it. They are on YouTube. They have a lot of videos on YouTube. Check them out now, please. We'll see you next week. Well, Wednesday. We'll see you next Wednesday. Smiley.
Keep smiling, everyone.
Pre-Thanksgiving Day show next Wednesday, 2 o'clock. Nothing but music. I'll do a little chit-chat between the songs and the bands. Check it out. Next Thursday, 2 o'clock, right
Turkey.
here. The advertisements all over Facebook. Thank you. God bless.
Titanic proportions can't stop this love. It's built from the finest, blessed from above. Titanic proportions, its perfect basic. Then your heart turned to cold, and ice struck like lead. Now I'm sinking, shipwrecked at sea, broken with pieces, left as debris. Drowning confusion, cold blood in my veins. Through all the sorrow and love from love. Pain. one day. Now I'm sinking, shipwreck at sea, broken to pieces, left as debris, drowned in confusion, blood in my veins, cold blue sorrow and on from love. Hey. Titanic proportions can't stop this love. Titanic proportions can't stop this love. Titanic proportions. Titanic proportions.